بالميامين هداتي من بني هاشم بخاتم النبيين أخي الوحي أبي.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our dear viewers from across the globe, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our discussion entitled The Great Trust. Our children indeed are a great trust entrusted to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In our discussions so far, we have discussed many aspects of upbringing children, from during conception, even before conception, during pregnancy, and a few years after their birth. Training surely is a long journey which begins long before the child comes into existence and continues many years after. In our previous session, our Alima Razia Batul had thrown light for us on the topic of nursing the child. And we learned how crucial and important it is for the child to get the mother's milk. And we had seen examples from the Holy Quran. For example, the example of Prophet Musa alayhi salam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made sure that he got only his mother's milk. And in cases where, God forbid, a mother is unable to provide the milk to her child, we have to make sure that we look for a pious wet nurse for the child, as in the case of our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where we see that Bibi Halima Sa'diya was appointed this heavy task. Our today's topic will revolve around the father's role in upbringing of the child. What role does he have to play in the early stages of the physical development of the child? To discuss this and many more important things, we will welcome our Alima Razia Batul Najafi to our show. Assalamu alaikum, Alima.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome and thank you once again for blessing us with your presence today. Inshallah, we will talk about our theme, which is the father's role. But before that, if you can please shed some more light on this nursing topic, to be in sync with what we did last time on nursing the child and the mother's milk. If you can please give us some more points on that.
Sure. Alhamdulillah, we have done about the importance of mother's milk in the eyes of Quran and Ahlul Bayt, and even hadith and the ahkam and rules which we had about this nursing and milk. Zahra, I would like to just briefly point about the importance of the milk itself, not mother's milk.
Just milk in general?
Yeah, in general. Because in Surah Nahl, ayat number 66, Allah is saying that even the milk which we get from the animals, there is a lot of lessons for us, ibrat for us. And if we get to know that how and why even the ordinary milk, journal milk, can make close us towards Allah and Tawheed, because Allah is saying there is a lesson, there is some kind of message from Allah, and it is the sign of Allah, and we can go to Allah, towards Allah by this Allah's blessing. So definitely the mother's milk, because mother as a human, because human being is the best creation of Allah, so definitely mother's milk can bring mother and others towards Allah more and more, and there's no comparable with other things. Surah Nahl is saying, Inna lakum fil an'ami la'ibra. In animals you will get a lot of lessons and my signs. How and why? Allah is saying, Nusqikum min bayni farthin wa damin labanan khalisa. Because I'm feeding you, I'm giving you very, very pure milk, the milk which Allah is making from animal, where Allah produced this milk. Allah is saying min bayni farthin wa dam. This is very important, that as nowadays scientists, they say that the milk is not actually the blood, the pure blood is not food, because the milk doesn't have the color of blood. It's not
right.
blood.
No
It's not
properties
red,
of
and
blood.
not a food even, and not color, not taste, nothing. Not only the color, but even we can see that the milk is so pure white, and the even the fragrance is completely different. So it's a mu'jiza, it's a miracle, it's a ayat of Allah. And that's why we say that this the milk is something between blood and between the digestive food, something between that. And as we know that when mother the baby is in mother's womb, so baby get feed by the mother's blood, and
right.
then Allah tabarak wa ta'ala is guiding that blood to go towards the breast and become a milk for the child. So sometimes really I think that Allah, Ya Raziq, you are giving the rizq, you are giving this sustenance to my child, but how much respect Allah is giving to me as a mother if I'm nursing my child, how much respect even my husband, the father and others, they give to mother, in good families. But I'm saying nothing mother does, everything is Allah is doing, Ya Raziq. That's why sometimes it's good to recite Ya Raziq, Ya Raziq during nursing the child. And our Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that the only food which we can get in this world, which can be a complete food, like it's ta'am and sharab both. Like if you eat that food, means it is also food, is also drink. That is only milk. So milk is
both the properties of food and of drink are in the milk.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So ordinary milk like that, not mother's milk I'm talking, because then we get to know more importance, and the value of this milk. Then why we should, we don't give to our children this beautiful Allah's blessing. And milk is the heavenly food. It is like I say, ma'idai bihishti, ma'idai jannati, because in Surah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah is saying, wa anharu min laban lam yataghayyar ta'mu. Like as we know that inshallah in Jannah there will be a lots of rivers, and one of river is river of
milk.
Milk. Yeah, sometimes our children, they don't like it, so we say inshallah the river of chocolate will be there, whatever they like. But it is true, whatever they like they will get it. Right. So but definitely the milk of akhirah and hereafter is completely different from here, because we can't compare here's blessings with over here means akhirat's blessings. So definitely they will like it and they will appreciate it. And then not only this, but even there are many other benefits of milk we get from our tradition. Like it says that drinking milk, it increases our intellect, and it increases or polishes our brain, and it again increases our eyesight, and it increases our memory, and it strengthens our back and our heart. So many benefit we have, even for our physical strength,
So
fitness.
all these benefits just for the normal milk.
Yes. It was my habit, and it is my habit that whenever I nurse my child, so I recite Surah Kausar, because I know that Allah is, the best fountain which Allah is creating, which Allah is making, is Kausar fountain in the heaven. Heavenly people are pure. That's why they are allowed to come towards heaven. They are coming towards heaven, but before entering the heaven, the peak of the heaven, they have to drink that water. That's why we do a lot of dua, and we say, we want that Kausar from Saqi Kausar. So I recite Surah Kausar, and I remember with this milk and Kausar in Jannah, and I say, Na'atwaynaka al-Kausar fasalli li rabbika wanhar. Oh Allah, you have provided this milk in my body, and you are the provider of the Hawd al-Kausar. So inshallah, make me and my child and other my friends and Muslimin to reach to that highest status, state of Jannah, inshallah.
So, Alima, we see that in today's world, in this busy times where a mother might not get time to suckle her child, and if she expresses her milk and then feeds the baby, is there a difference in terms of what the baby is getting, or is the mother's reward decreased or anything? Because it's sometimes not possible for a working mother or for a busy mother to suckle her child directly.
Yeah, I'm sure many of us would think that there's no any difference, even physically or spiritually.
Because the milk is the same. It's
Yeah.
just that it's through a source, it's through a feeder, through a bottle,
Yes.
but it's not.
And recently it has been, become very, very
so,
common,
yeah.
between mothers. But I'm sure after a few years, maybe they will come to some disadvantages of expressing the milk.
Okay.
Why? Yeah, because Islam is stressing a lot on suckling the child, not just expressing the milk. There is a lot of difference in the eyes of Islam, not only spiritually, even physically. Because there's a lot of other thing, like physically means the love and the heat of the lap of the mother, and that the direct milk which comes out from the mother's breast is completely different from the milk which you sometimes you freeze it or you put it in fridge or in bottle. Yeah. And there are many other things which we can see the difference. Yeah, because Islam wants to make sure that the time which child and mother should spend together, that connection is very important in the eyes of Islam. And I don't know how much even physically and spiritually the child is getting, how kind of energies and raises and food he is getting, because we can see only the food which going out from from his mouth. That we can see, but Islam can see many other things. That's why last time we have done the hadith, and I have mentioned that hadith that which says that for each and every suck, and that we have translated the drop. I think the better one is
suck of a child.
Yeah, suck of the child. Mother will get that much sawab, so many sawab. So that's why we have done that hadith. Do you remember that how much reward Allah gives for each and every suck which child does?
Right. Every suck is rewarded, like a mom has freed a slave from the generation of Nabi Ismail, like a very high status
Yes,
of a
definitely.
slave. And for each suck she gets one hasana and one sin removed from her amals, from her book of deeds. Right?
MashaAllah. Yeah, and that was for sucking.
For every suck.
Yeah,
right.
not for feeding by expressing
okay.
milk.
So there is a
yeah,
difference.
there is a difference. Yes.
Right. All right. So our viewers, we will have to take a break for now, and we'll get back shortly. Please stay in tune, and we'll talk more of this very important topic. Thank you very much.
إلهي بالميامين هداتي من بني هاشم بخاتم النبيين.
So welcome back our viewers, and we'll continue with our alima and see what's more to hear. Okay, so we're talking about that there is a difference if the mother feeds by suckling and not through expressing, right?
Yes.
So what's more to hear then?
Yeah, and our Prophet, he has said that this is very famous hadith that يحرم من الرضا ما يحرم من النسب. Like whatever and whoever becomes mahram by blood becomes mahram by suckling.
Right.
So it's amazing thing, sometimes really I think that how if I nurse by suckling a child, not my own child, definitely my child is by blood and by nursing both. But if I'm nursing any other child, so I will become forever that child's mother. Not only if that is a boy, I'm a mahram, I'm his mother. And not only me, like my brother or his uncle, whatever we have because of blooding and because of nasab, whatever becomes mahram. So Islam says that this order and this, Allah's blessing, Allah is saying that everything will become mahram, and the child will become one of the family member of my whole family. So Zahra, just we have to think that what is going on, how much effects it has. And we are watching that, okay, baby is getting the food and the milk and the purest milk, and mashallah, he's getting the best thing, but we never see
the
that
background, what's happening.
yeah. But the condition is very important. What is the condition? Suckling, not
feeding,
So it shows that there are some other effects and benefits and advantages which we can't see, but Islam is watching. That's why Islam is saying
Okay, so Alima, this was about the benefits that a child gets by suckling from the mother's breast. What are the effects on the child, the spiritual effects that she gets by nursing from the mother?
Yeah, definitely there are many effects we can get from traditions. That's why hadith is from Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. He's saying that yustahabbu labanul wadha'i min an-nisa. It's so important that first time I have seen this hadith, I have heard a lot that it is good to nurse a child during you contain the wudu after performing wudu. But this hadith is saying, hadith is saying that it is recommended, it is sawab, because as we know that wudu is some kind of protection, like because then we can control even our mind from evils, from evil thoughts. So, and the other hadith says unzuru man turzi' awladakum. You have to look that who is feeding or nursing your child, who is that mother, who is that murza. Don't give to it is saying that we have to be aware that who will become the future mother of your child,
right.
And فَإِنَّ الْوَلَدْ يَشِبُّ عَلَيْهِ, because the child will get lots of mother's akhlaq and attributes. So that's why be very, very sensitive about it. Islam is very sensitive. And I'll give you some examples, like in book I was reading, it says that one of the great scholar, he's saying that because of some cure, the doctors, they have given me advice to drink the donkey's milk, which is makruh, which is not recommended, but because of the ilaj, because of the medicine, he had some kind of this milk, and he said that after that, whenever I used to hear that the voice which we bring out 4 donkeys, so he used to stand up and that voice, like he's saying that I had that much connection with donkey, and it had that much this milk, even the animals make milk has. And again, another negative effects which we get in history is very, very common, is Sheikh Fadlullah Noori. He was the great alim and scholar, but unfortunately his son, when he get to know that because of some reasons that time ruler and the government of that time, they wanted to murder his father, so the son was so happy, and he was keep going to the the rulers, and he was saying that be quick and murder my father, because I don't want to see him. And that, so people, they came to him and asked that you are Ayatullah, you are scholar, how comes your son is so
deviated
for it. So he said, I knew about it, I knew about this day, because I did one big mistake. When I was in Najaf, my son's mother got sick, and I was, I arranged one other
wet nurse,
a nurser, and she nursed, and then I get to know that she had that hate for Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. She was one of the enemies of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And then I knew, I said, I did, because I didn't know before, and that's why hadith says that unzur man turzi',
be vigilant, keep your eyes open to who you give your child to.
And not only this, about Muqaddasa Ardebili, as we know that many of this kind of ulama, they live their life without doing any single sin in their whole life after bulughat, after 14, 15 years old, like when they become baligh and aqil and, you know, aware about the muharramat and everything. So Muqaddasa Ardweli's mother, when people they came and they asked that what you have done, you know, how your son has become so good. So she's saying that because I never ever went towards any bite of mashkook, doubtful, I don't know it's haram or halal. And number two, she said I never ever, you know, watch towards the mahram with, you know, bad intention, and I never sit with spend any time with who doesn't have good Islamic manners. And then she said that I, you know, feed him always performing
in
after
the state
performing
of wuzu.
yeah, in the state of wuzu. And also Sheikh Ansari, he's the again one of the great ulama. His books, even, you know, recently we are studying, and for ijtihad we have to study his books. So until now, you know, nobody can write better than him. That's why we are still studying, and his book is the syllabus of the, you know, the highest status stage of like Islamic colleges and universities. Yeah, people, they have to read it. So she said that when again people they ask, you know, look at the history, like how students of the ulamas, they used to go there to their mother and ask that what you have done,
the reason behind producing such pious children. And
she's saying, because I dreamt about him, that, you know, when I was conceiving him, that Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, he came and he gave me one Quran. And then I asked the tabir and what is the, you know, meaning of this dream, and I get to know that Allah will give me one pious son who will be the protector of this Quran. So then because she was, you know, pious, that's why Allah was giving her this kind of child. And then she said, I formed and I did this intention that I will do always, you know, I will remain always in wudu, even midnight when I used to get up. And she said, I was expecting more higher status for my child. This is nothing which I got, because I did a lot of struggle, you know, for make myself pure. And, you know, and that's why Sheikh Ansari, when she died, his mother, he used to cry a lot. And the student, they surprised and they said, why you are the Ayatollah, you are the alim, why you are crying? Then he said that you don't know, you know, what kind of milk she has nursed me, and because of that milk, how babarkat, how blessed that was. Whatever I have, because of my mother's milk, I'm here, I'm in this stage.
So there we see that the purity of the mother's milk is important. So feeding by itself is important, plus making sure that we are in the state of tahala, in the state of wuzu all the time. Okay, so our alim, I think we just have a few minutes before we end our session. So if you can quickly give us some really final comments before we end our session today.
Yeah, sure. I love to share with you one beautiful and amazing hadith, and I'm sure if we get to know this hadith, especially the mothers who are nursing their child, they will enjoy more, they will take more pleasure. This hadith is from Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, and it says that Mufaddal, he is one of the best student and companion. He's asking, and it's a beautiful question which he is asking, and we should say thanks to Mufaddal that he asked the question, and alhamdulillah it reaches to us and we are getting the benefit. So Mufassal is saying, sometimes I watch that my child or the children, sometimes they just laugh without any reason, and sometimes they just cry without any reason. So why, it is like that? So then Imam is replying, and Imam is saying, Ya Mufaddal, ma min tiflin illa wa huwa yara al-imam wa yunajih. So beautiful. Like, we should respect this suckling child. That why? Because Imam is saying that each and every child has this tawfiq, has this blessing, that when they get to know, and when they watch their imam, their present imam, they will laugh, because they have this opportunity to talk to their imam. Yunaji فبكاؤه لغيبة الإمام عنه. and they cries. Why? Because sometimes Imam goes, if that is not in our last Imam, because Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam saying for each and every person who's living in any times, Imam. So if they are watching their Imam, they will laugh. If they are not watching, like Imam goes from his view, so they cry. And especially in our time, they said فَبُكَاءُ لَغَيْبَةِ الْإِمَامِ, because of they knows that everybody can't watch Imam alayhi salam. فَإِذَا أَقْبَلَ عَلَيْهِ حَتَّى إِذَا أطلق لسانه أغلق ذلك الباب عنه. The child can watch this beautiful scene, so he can see until before he can talk. So when he starting to talk, then he
No
can't.
more, he can't
because
say
then
anymore.
maybe he will say. So
Say,
this
right.
door is open until the baby can talk.
Start talking. This is mashallah, a very beautiful hadith, and I'm sure our viewers have learned a lot about suckling baby and how precious they are when they're so young. And I'm sure our nursing mothers have learned a lot today about the manners of feeding and the benefit that a child gets and a mother gets while they nursed her child. So inshallah, it seems like we keep pushing our topic of the father's role, but inshallah we'll really discuss this next time when we get it, and I'm sure it's for the betterment that it keeps getting pushed. But do stay tuned, and inshallah do practice what we have learned in this week, and we'll get back to you next week. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.